Okay, welcome everybody to our January meeting. And first of all, I'd like to do acknowledgement of the country, and Council would like to acknowledge and pay its respects to the First Peoples of the River Murray and Mallee region, who are the traditional custodians of this land. Council would also like to pay its respects to elders past and present, and recognise and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs and relationships with this land on which we meet. So we have a full house here. Apologies only the Councillor Sim Marley, who I actually spoke to last week, and he has indicated to me that he will look like, subject to his lawyer, possibly resigning because his leave of absence runs out on the 31st of January. So he's looking at resigning because of continued delays in the court processes. So he's really got no idea when it's going to come back onto B. So yeah, we'll no doubt hear from Singh before the end of the month. Okay. Members' declaration of interest. Has anybody got any declaration? Councillor Howie.
It was a question. I'm just sorry. I've got it. Will we put our hands up when we want?
Yeah, that'll be the best idea.
I'm just going to ask, has he been to court at all?
I can't tell you that, Marek, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Members' declaration of interest. Has any member got a declaration of interest that they haven't already given to Julie? We'll take that as no. Deputations, obviously nil. Questions from the gallery are obviously nil. Motion of condolence. Someone prepared to move the motion of condolence? Councillor Spano, Councillor Sims. All those in favour? Hands up. That's carried. Thank you. Peter, yeah, thanks, Peter. Minutes confirmation of the ordinary meeting held on the 21st of December. Someone prepared to move true and correct record? Councillor Maddox is moving it. Councillor Spano is seconding it. I've lost your video again, Peter. Okay, all those in favour? In favour, Pete? That's carried. Thank you.
I've got trouble flipping screens here. I'm trying to use one machine, so I shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Business arising from those minutes.
Can I ask a question?
I'm just about to ask. Business arising from those minutes. Councillor Howie.
I was just wondering, it's a question. So when we have a question without notice, it doesn't get recorded?
Yes, it does.
Because there were questions without notice, one from Councillor Hunter and one from myself. And if you have a look at the minutes, there's no record of questions without notice.
We normally record those, Julie, or not? Or the members need to actually advise that they want them recorded?
I think Tony needs to answer that question.
Are there, Tony?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Look, we haven't necessarily in the past. So, look, I'm more than happy to do it, or for members to request that the question and the answer are recorded in the minutes.
I reckon that's what the regs say, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is. So in future, yeah, we'll request the member, up to the individual member to request that the questions without notice go onto the minutes, and the recorded response will go on there as well.
I just personally think that because if you leave the chamber to go to the toilet, it gets recorded. So I would have thought a question without notice and a response should be recorded. No. Like if I asked a question without notice this minute, it will be recorded.
If you request it to be, but
no,
leaving
being recorded because we're Zoom.
Just hang on, Councillor Howie. Leaving your chair to go to the toilet means that you are not in the room and you're not entitled to vote. So that's why that is recorded there in the minutes. So it's entirely different to what you just suggested. But in future, we will record, and the member needs to ask that it be recorded and the response be recorded in the minutes, if that's what you want to do.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other business arising from those minutes? Councillor Hunter?
In terms of minutes for confidential items, there's no mention at all in the minutes that I saw there for item 20.1.3 and 20.1.2. And while you wouldn't want to run a commentary on it, to not have anything recorded just seems a little remiss. So I just wonder if there's a comment from staff about that.
Well, it's in the agenda that there's a confidential item, and the confidential minutes go into as confidential minutes because you need to keep them separated.
Agreed, but there's no comment for those two items, that's all. In the minutes.
Tony, can you respond to that?
Uh, 20.1.3, I don't believe I was actually in the chamber for.
No.
So I'm not sure I can comment, Mr. Mayor, on that. Other than if there was something resolved, and clearly that should have been recorded in the minutes, but I wasn't present.
But if something was resolved, it would be shown in the confidential minutes. So can we take that on notice, Councillor Hunter?
Absolutely. Yeah, it just didn't seem to be different to normal, that's all.
Even some commentary in the general minutes that, well, we go into confidence and list those items in the general minutes without any motions and or obviously any resolutions or whatever.
Even that would be useful that that conversation was had, if that makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Howie? You're on mute, Margaret.
Lucky you didn't hear me swear.
Thank you.
With the, it actually does say what it is, and I think that is what's in confidence. I'm sorry, but that, to me, it doesn't need any more explanation. That's just my opinion.
If it's shown there, the item is there on the general minutes, then yeah, that would be fine. Okay, any other business arising? Oh, Councillor Hunter.
I was just going to say, I thought it was in the agenda, but not the minutes, those particular things, hence raising it. But look, I'm happy to roll. It's not a big issue.
All right, well, I'll confirm that we'll check it out anyway. Any other business arising? Okay, questions with notice. Neil, questions without notice? Councillor Hunter.
Can staff confirm that any correspondence that is addressed to elected members is actually received by us?
Through the chair, Councillor Hunter, yeah, that is the process.
I don't know whether that always happens, Tony.
I'm happy to research any example where it hasn't, Mr. Mayor.
Yep, okay. Anything else, Councillor Hunter?
No, it's just that we can follow it through later on. That if we can just confirm that that's the intent, and if something slips through, we can chat about it later. But yeah, that's just to be clear that that's the case. Thank you.
Okay. Notice of motions, Neil. Receiving the minutes of the recommendations of the council committees, and I think I haven't got that with me there, but there's only the one of the land development panel, I think. Julie, is that right? There's nothing in there at all. Right, sorry, my apologies. Elected members report. Someone prepared to move the elected members reports. Councillor Howie moving it. Councillor Townsend seconding it. All those in favour? That's carried. Questions of the reports? You've gone again, Councillor Hunter.
Yeah, I just jump screens again to try and look at what I'd noted, but that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I take it that there's no questions of elected members' reports. Oh, Councillor Daru. Councillor Daru.
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to ask Councillor Hunter that meeting.
You appear to be on mute there, Henry, but you're still on mute, Henry. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there, it dropped out. I was just going to ask Councillor Hunter around his meeting with Dr. Ben Dye around the Barmer Forest choke. What's is there any update on what's happening in that area?
Happy for me to answer? Yeah. No, he put out a paper which talked, and it was reported in the Advertiser. And I've had this long-standing thing about moving. When we travelled down through that area by boats, a lot of the logs were across the river. And my question was, to what degree had they already explored the notion of turning them so they're parallel to the river to enable the fast-flowing waters up there to actually gouge a deeper channel and thereby allow a greater flow down the river. I've raised it in various other forums, but that seemed to be his expertise. And he explained to me in detail how the various groups would not allow that to happen. But it seemed to me to be a relatively simple way of allowing a much greater flow while still keeping the timber for the fish habitats in the river. But he was quite adamant that wouldn't occur. So that was the discussion around those sorts of things in Barmer Forest. Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks. Just interesting. Thank you.
Any other questions on the elected members' reports? Tonight, late reports are nil, and CEO report is nil. Director of Corporate and Community Services report is nil, and the Director of Infrastructure and Environmental Services reports are nil. Okay, information only reports. I'll hand over to Tony, CEO. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So look, I don't have a lot, just my activities reports, as well as the resolution action report. Happy to take any questions. I do have a couple of other things I might just touch on quickly, Mr. Mayor, if there's no questions.
Any questions of Tony? Anybody? That's a no, Tony. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Councillor Hunter. Mute.
Sorry, just jumping screens. I shouldn't have tried to do this on one machine. Never mind. There's a meeting there about the Cowperham Estate representative. I was just interested about what Cowperham Estate is referring to as opposed to Australian Landscape Trust or some other group. Can you just share for us whether that's a new body or group?
So through the chair, Councillor Hunter, that's you're relating to the meeting with Julie Robinson. Is that correct? Yeah. Look, Cowperham have done a strategic plan for 5 to 10 years out there of things that they want to achieve. She wanted to run it past me and also talk about the potential of them applying for BBRF funding for the first stage of those works out there. So they've got considerable infrastructure works that they're looking to do out there. More than happy once they've endorsed all of that, which I think they might have done, for them to come and address council if elected members are interested.
I take it, Tony, that is that referring to a name change for Cowperham Estate, or should it just have been Cowperham Station?
Oh, I don't believe it's a name change. You know, potentially I've just recorded it incorrectly as to the organisation that I met with. So no, not looking at name change that I'm aware of.
All right, thank you. Anything else there, Peter? Councillor Hunter?
No, just that that'd be really interesting to hear what they're planning 5-10 years. Thank you.
Any other questions of Tony? Okay, moving on.
Yeah, sorry, just
No,
a
yeah,
couple
sorry.
of couple of quick things, Mr. Mayor, if I could. Given that the agenda, well, the meeting is a week earlier, and coming back from Christmas, we really didn't have a lot to put on the agenda, but a couple of things that I wanted to touch on before next month. I did mention about the funding that we've received for Mertho Forest in terms of a toilet at Mertho Forest. I just want to make it clear to elected members the asset will not actually be an asset of council in the end, but we did assist in getting the funding. We are working with Dew on that project, so it will be a Dew asset. Dew will be responsible for maintaining that asset afterwards. And the other thing I wanted to touch on is that we've been meeting with due DIT and the EPA around the river behaviour on the river, bank erosion, houseboats, a whole range of different things. One thing that we've requested is a reporting mechanism for anything to do with the river. So given there are different state government bodies that manage the river, EPA managing black grey water compliance, DEW managing bank erosion, DIT managing river behaviour. We're looking to get their contact details for reporting for all those different areas. We'll start, and it would have been nice to do it before Christmas, but we'll start putting that out on our socials to ask the community to essentially assist us with reporting bad behaviour or non-compliance with river operations. So through the meetings, it's come through very clearly that report is the way to bring these things to these state government departments' attention. So once we have that information in hand, we'll share it with elected members, who can then share it with members of the community, and we'll also share it on our socials.
Councillor Hunter.
There's multiple cases that we had on the river in the last 3-4 weeks, like many other members, I'm sure. But identifying those boats is near nigh impossible. You can't see the numbers or any identification, so the reports are going to be difficult. So I'll just flag that.
Yeah, through the chair, I mean, if you can identify the boat, it will make it easier. But again, sometimes it's not possible, but if you just report what you've seen, where it was, time, date, that type of thing, and sort of build a case if there is bad behaviour or non-compliance. That was it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes. Any other questions of Tony? Councillor Howie.
It's not a question, but Wayne Roti stopped me just recently. He's the house right there by the pump station, and asked about wake boats, etc., etc. And I told him that we can't do anything about it, and I'm really pleased to hear that he may be able to do that. But he was going to write to council, but he was going to take a photo of 2 boats that are really causing a problem, because his steel structure of his pontoon has cracked from the wake boats, causing that, sort of thing like that. So it'll be really good that they will have somewhere that they can send their complaints, rather than, we can't do anything about it. So I think really that's great, Tony, that you've had those conversations. And yeah, I'll probably be the first one to put my hand up about the ones over there with their grey water. The EPA might be interested.
Just with the wake boats at the moment, the wake boats are quite legal on the river, and yeah, it's not going to be an easy thing to try and sort out unless there's some regulation involved. Other than those boats need to keep away from people and some of the infrastructure as well. But you're still going to get those huge waves that move across and cause a problem.
Yeah, well, his complaint was that they come too close, like too close to his infrastructure, and he was going to take photos of the boats. But what I'm pleased about, thanks to Tony, is that we can direct complaints like that to somebody, rather than just keep coming back to council and can't do anything. Okay.
Any other questions of Tony? Someone prepared to move that we received the CEO's information report? Councillor Hunter and Councillor Spino. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much, Tony. Director of Corporate and Community Services, Tim.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I'll apologise in advance. I just I glitched out for about 3 minutes there, so I didn't hear that the last 3 minutes of discussion. So hopefully that doesn't happen in the next couple of minutes. Your Worship, I don't have anything to add to my very short report. Thank you.
Okay, any questions of Tim at all? Everybody must want to go back and watch the tennis. Okay, someone prepared to move that the Director of Corporate and Community Services report be received. Councillor Daru and Councillor Howie. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much, Tim. Director of Infrastructure and Environmental Services report. Over to you, Stephen. Unmute, mate.
Sorry, just having problems with the button. No, I have nothing specific to add there. I think that's fairly clear if anyone that's there for information. I don't have anything specific to discuss.
Just a couple of things from me, Stephen. Have we done anything about the street light at the Institute? Has an order been issued for South Australian Power Networks to install that new light?
So I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to remember a discussion about it. And I think it probably has, but I can follow up and confirm if you like.
All right, thank you. And the other one is the fence around the Renmark Cemetery. It's been repaired in a couple of spots by, I don't know whether it was us or somebody or the next door neighbour, and there's also some other parts of the fence that's come down as well. And we had that in the budget. I appreciate that it's asbestos related, so it's a significant job to do. I'm just wondering if there's any progress been made on that.
We were waiting on the insurance, what was happening with that, find out how much funding we get out of that, and then that will be scheduled in. I'm not sure of the date, but it is scheduled in for replacement.
All right, thank you. Any other questions of Stephen? Someone prepared to move Stephen's report be received? Councillor Hunter, Councillor Maddox. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? All nods to me, so that looks good. And general business, there's nothing listed, so that's the end of the penny farthing there. The only thing I will bring up is the Australia Day breakfast on Wednesday next week. You need to get your names to Jules if you are attending or not attending, so that we can we know where we are and can sort out allocations. I think there's only about 140 odd places we can get because of the COVID. They're down to I think it's 25% actually, so that will be limited in numbers, but at least some people will be able to be there depending on whether they register on the system. All right, anybody? Councillor Howie?
Well, I thought that I responded to Sue.
Oh, well, either Julie or Sue, doesn't matter. Yeah. Either one. Or Sue preferably. I just got the thumbs up from Jules. Okay, no other questions? All right, thank you very much, everybody. Just a short, sharp, shiny meeting, but little amount on the agenda, but hopefully there'll be more there for next meeting in February. Thanks very much, everybody. Declare the meeting closed.